I describe my work as portrait sculpture, and I see it in the line of recycling since I use more of waste material. Richard Atugonza is a Ugandan portrait sculptor, and basically my art is a mirror to reflect people's emotions and more so how people behave in the community. People that I see on the way, I get to meet, to me as an artist, this inspires my work. So today we're heading to Chitemu, where I do collect some of my materials. Now, this is the workshop where I used to work from, and it's where all the journey started from. So I worked from this workshop for 1 year, and the inspiration to start using some of the waste materials like the sawdust, and also the people around me, the way they are committed to what they are doing. So it inspired me a lot, and I always relate with it as an artist.
From the time we left school, I think it was the first place we came and joined for service, for work. And it was from here that Richard has been able to build a concept of his own, a concept that defines him as an artist.
So this is sawdust that is a residue got from timber. And it's the one that I use to execute the art pieces.
Richard's art as an art is a bit off the line of fabrication, furniture, the work we do here. So it paints a new picture into many people's eyes here, and they feel like they should also pick interest, they should know more about it, and so it paints a picture of good news at the end of it.
So as a technical officer in this workshop, I managed to learn a lot in fabrication and also design. So I used to see a lot of waste material that is coming from wood, so the offcuts, and also the sawdust, which was in plenty. It was just thrown away. This triggered me, and I was like, what can I do into this? Then later, it led to my transition into the practice that I'm doing right now. So besides sawdust, I use other materials that I find plenty in my surroundings, like charcoal residue. And this charcoal residue I always collect it from my neighbors. So when they collect this charcoal from me, I use it for my end product, for my sculpture, for my artwork. After collecting all these materials, I go into my studio. It's where I start experimenting, mixing, and trying out how to use these materials in a better way to form the art piece. I've been working on a small scale, but now I'm going large scale. So in the Abu Dhabi Art and Beyond, I'm a commissioned artist who is about to execute 2 large scale sculptures, which are going to be outdoor. So I feel so excited and blessed to be part of Abu Dhabi Art and Beyond. Really, it is a privilege for me. So I can't wait to blow it up. So far I've managed to get done with 1 piece in clay. So later I will cast its mold. Atat Batfa is made up of 2 sculptures. It is inspired by the story of 2 lovers, Layla and Majnun. They became a metaphor of what many people around the world have been experiencing due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Many of us have felt isolated and separated from loved ones. This artwork speaks about longing for reunions, about keeping friends and families in our hearts while being separated and not being able to interact as we would wish to.
Richard's work is an experience to him, which also reflects to the viewer. He starts his ideas with things that without a clear definition, since the artist himself experiences with different kind of materials and components. From day one, when I asked him how are you planning to execute these works, he had to think of ways to get off from the comfort zone of producing small captures to executing big ones, which was quite a different kind of experience, because here he needed to start sketching, thinking of how to scale the work. So it was quite different from the small kind of sculptures he was initially doing. And he would just sleep in his studio sometimes to ensure that something comes out.
The journey hasn't been that smooth. It has been challenging. Whenever I hit the studio, I felt limitless, and it gave me the force, the energy to continue working and exploring more with the size of my sculptures. And it has been a venture for me, and also discovering my new me.
For me, the first surprise came from the molds. It was the biggest mold I have ever seen him make from the sculptures, and even removing the molds from the clay was quite a challenging time for him. So he failed sometimes, which was quite interesting because he was learning as well.
When your creation comes to pass, you always feel excited and you feel that energy in you for having made the accomplishment. When I look at this sculpture, I see a landmark that is not only for the present, but also for the future generation. I'm really super excited for having made these two large-scale sculptures. Eventually, the two sculptures were shipped to Abu Dhabi and shown during the Abu Dhabi Art Fair. One sculpture, Layla, was installed at Manarat Al Saidiyat, where the art fair was taking place, and the second one, Majnun, in the desert of Al Ain. To this day, they are still there, separated and longing for each other.